You want cereal?
My.
What the? Oh my god. This is just a disgusting display of bacchanalia.
Actually empty.
Look, Macy's coming over to tell them as well. Like, I'm so glad you're here. They were up all night. It was disgusting.
It's on their faces.
Deffroddau ar llawen ha, heddiw daeth newyddion da, seren Bethlem dirion der, daeth i'r lawr o blith y ser. Mae creawdwr mawr y byd, mae'n cynhaliwr oll I gyd, mae iachawdwr dynol ryw, heddiw gyda ni yn byw. Henffych I ti fore cyn, bore prenedigaeth dyn, caned holl Jerusalem, ganed Christ ym Bethlehem.
Anyone of like 90s babies, do you remember Furbies? Like I was just telling Emma about it. Emma was like, what did you really want from Santa Claus when you were a kid? And I was like, oh, I massively wanted a Furby. But then I got one and it was super creepy. Like, I thought it was gonna be really cute, but then it was like, I'm Furby. And it would like turn on in the night. And I had to like put it in a drawer because I couldn't take the batteries out. And like sometimes I'd forget it was in that drawer and I'd open the drawer and it would just be like, I'm Furby in the drawer. And then you'd have to shut it really quick again and it'd be like talking in the drawer because he'd woken up. Furbies, man. I think I'm good on the Furby front. I don't need any more Furbies.
Hey, Mama, we're close to the downstairs. When you're sitting on a wall, you can see everything. If you're sitting on that bench, you can't.
This is like a dog watching paradise. Like this chubby beagle who barks every time he throws a ball. I love all of those ones over there that like formed their own community.
Mama, there's also John.
Oh, he looks cold. He's not wearing a sweater. Oh my god. Oh, that one is. Oh, look at that one's wearing a sweater.
Mom, look, that beagle that barked every time he froze.
Yeah.
Just now he like, whoa.
Oh, they're cute. I like that one. It looks like a Saint Bernard or something. It's just sat down. He's like, I'm tired of this now.
But Zoltar is here to tell you you can believe it. Age is simply a matter of mind.
What's it say? You are the lucky one. You were born lucky and luck continues to follow you.
Dad, look at Dad. He was taking too much space
I've never seen so many doggy sweaters in my life. So many doggy Christmas sweaters. They're everywhere.
Because it wasn't Christmas so much.
Well, I suppose, but even at Christmas time, Barry Island seems to be like the capital of doggy Christmas sweaters. Mayday! Okay, so we'll decorate both of these, but I think maybe just one of those ones. The majority of these ones, the vegan ones, just in case Santa Claus is a vegan. What do you think?
Do you want to see something gross?
Always.
Wait, Mum, save the carrot. Let's decorate the carrot. Georg, I'm bored. Tra-la!
Oh, there he is.
Wait, can I quickly see? He used to have a mask though.
Oh, right. Oh, I guess pandemic over, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I want to see Red Nose the Reindeer. How do you go to Red Nose the Reindeer?
He's over here, right?
How many reindeers does he have? Why is he in the front?
There he is. See?
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Okay, so right now he's over Turkmenistan and he's gonna go to Dubai next.
What's the glitter coming out?
I don't know, like magic, I guess.
Wait. But what is that white thing?
Well, the white I think is snow, isn't it?
But it isn't snowing outside.
It's snowing in Turkmenistan apparently.
Cool.
I can't imagine it snowing in Dubai, so maybe it will stop once it gets there. It's just these mountains he's got to cross face. Oh my god. My kid is super upset that the elf on the shelf has to leave tonight. He has to go back with Santa Claus to the North Pole. He's got to hitch a ride. And she's so fucking upset. She's like, but I love them. I want them to stay with me. And she's like weeping. She's like clutching them to her chest and weeping. So I've been strong about it. I've been like, no, like, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I have to go. But I think basically now I'm going to have to maybe take 2 of the 3 elves out. Like hide them in a cupboard. And then leave one elf, like the original elf that her grandmother bought her. Like, leave him with a note that says, okay, these 2 have had to go back with Santa, but this one's allowed to stay with you only if he promises not to use any elf magic the entire time until next Christmas. Like, he's not allowed to like walk around in the night or do literally anything apart from just be a toy until next Christmas, and he's promised. And as soon as he uses elf magic, Santa will know about it and he'll make him come home, so he's not going to do it. I think that's basically what I'm gonna have to do. Like, this whole up on the shelf thing, holy fucking shit, like, it's just thrown such a wrench in my life. Like, there's so many like weird rules about it that adults get so into as well. Like, a parent at Alan's school, like a grown ass woman, saw that she took the elves to like show and tell or whatever, and she was like, you know, they lose their magic when you touch them. Like, do they lose their magic when you touch? Like, why do we have so many rules for some shit we made up? We just made it all up. We can have any rules we want. You know what? I think it gets more magic when you touch it. You know how I know that? Because I just fucking made it up. You know what else I just made up? He has an imaginary dog, the elf does, and it just runs around. Like, it's running after us now. Like, can you hear it barking? Like, I can hear it barking because it doesn't like you, because you have too many rules for things that aren't real. Oh my god. I'm drinking the sherry we poured for Santa. I said I'd pour him another one. Like, I need this. Anyway, what I initially came up here to chat about lightly is my New Year's resolutions. Okay, like, this is the last list left on my like content thing that I made at the beginning of December. So I've done everything else except this, and it's because they're so hard to nail down. Like, last year I think it was actually even easier than this year, because last year I had this like clear idea of what I wanted 2022 to be, what things I wanted to accomplish from it, and how I was going to accomplish it. I just needed the willpower to stick to it. Anyway, nowadays, for 2023, I have no idea. Like, it's required way more soul searching. Like, it's not as clear, my vision. Okay.
Ow.
Oops. What do you think are your, like, New Year's resolutions for next year?
What does that mean?
Like, the 1st of January was like a clean slate. Like, you can do anything. Like, you can change anything about your life that you want to from there. Like, what is something you wish that you could do?
I wish I could fly to Disneyland.
Well, what an effing coincidence. Should that be your resolution?
What does that mean?
Like, in the new year, in 2023, you would like to fly to Disneyland. Okay. Shall we make it a goal for us all to fly to Disneyland in 2023?
In 2023,
Yeah,
I can go
yeah.
to Disneyland?
For the new year.
Wait, no. I don't want to go to Disney. I want I know. I want to go to Paris.
Okay.
With Etta.
Okay, we can't go with Etta because Etta's not my child, and her mum probably wouldn't let me take her across, like, national.
Oh, she can come too. Etta's mum.
Going to Paris, we can make that happen, baby girl. That's your resolution. We're gonna do it. We'll go to Paris next year. Anyway, resolutions, right? So I think I finally nailed them down. I've put them into 3 categories: health, books, and when related. Okay, health related things. First thing, I need to fix my damn bicycle. And I know that sounds like not something that requires resolution strength changes, but it really is. My bicycle is like 40 years old. It was built in the 70s. And everything about being a person who cycles regularly in Cardiff means that you have to, like, travel this very thin line between having a bicycle which can be ridden and not kill you, and also one which isn't nice enough to steal, or else it will 100% be stolen from any situation. And I was riding that line quite well, but I think I've now dipped over into the line where it's no longer rideable and will kill me at some point. Like, the brake system, there's 2 brakes normally on a bicycle. I only have 1 because the other one's broken, and that's fine as long as the one brake works properly. But it's like one of these things where it grips the rim, you know, like it's sort of 2 pads and you squeeze them and they grip the rim. But it grips like this metal rim, which, as you can guess, when it's wet in the rain, doesn't grip. So I just sort of skate. I'm gripping and I'm still going. It's just skating right through that red light. So I need to do something about it, but it's going to be, I think, expensive. Or, like, I tend to just, whenever I have a bicycle problem, I take it to Punk Bikes, where I got the bike in the first place. And they just sort me out. Like, they've got this massive dog named Buster who's super friendly. And they do me for super cheap. But when I brought up the brakes issue, they were like, this is just basically the brakes on this kind of bike. Like, if you want to have different kind of brakes, it's going to cost more than the bike. So you should think about that. And I was like, okay, I won't do it. But in the new year, I need to do it, preferably in January, because it's a problem. So that's number 1 for my health. Number 2 for my health, my mother has joined this, like, vegan, like, meal planning site thing, like this app that she pays money for, because she's going to try veganing in January, which I'm for. But also, last year I had this whole thing where I was going to eat healthier, and I feel like I've done that. I feel like I've mastered my resolutions from last year in a way. However, with my healthier foods, I've ended up pigeonholing myself into like 4 or 5 meals that I just sort of have over and over and over again. So I'm going to dip into this meal service thing, try to diversify the foods we have in the house, because also now I could potentially be setting Anwen up to be like one of these kids who's like, ugh, I don't eat foreign food, you know, like one of these kids who just like eats beans on toast for every meal and has no idea what any other kind of food is, you know. And I was looking on these things that are on the app that my mom has like done, and they have a sandwich where you put nori slices on like crown like chickpea or whatever, and it turns into like a sort of tuna-ish sandwich. I felt like that was some crazy witchcraft that I'm for. Anyway, so that. Number 3 in the health category is yoga, which I realize is on my list every year, but like, stay with me here. I think in previous years it was on my list to get into it, to be like, to get started, to do beginner yoga, to get the feel of it, you know, to get comfortable with yoga, to find out where to go, you know, and, you know, how to get into it. I figured that out now. I've been a couple times. I like where I go. I go where Sean is a teacher, and I'm happy with that. So 2023 will be about regularity in yoga, like establishing a regular yoga system and maintaining it. And I've signed up for the 1st of January to go to yoga with Sean. It's a Sunday. It's the 1st. I don't want to talk about it. I've done it. It's done now. And I can't go back, or else that's like a super dick move. I've signed up for it. I'm doing it. 1st of January, yoga. This will be fine. Okay, second category is books, which I've talked about loads. I'm not going to do it loads again. Like, it's library book related. And like how I track my reading, I think I'm going to do it more online. But one thing that I'm going to add on top is to track Anne Wynn's books. Like, I'm going to set her up with her own story graph, maybe her own Goodreads as well, and just track all the books she reads, even like tiny ones, you know, or like ones we read together. Like, I remember when in like 2008 or something, when I finished college, and I started tracking every book that I read sort of from there, to get a list of all the books that I'd read in my life before then. I had to like think about all the books I'd read and look through lists and be like, yeah, I read that, and then write those down. Like, I had to make a list of 18 years worth of reading, like all in one go. And I don't want that for Anne Wynn. Like, I want her to like have it from now, you know? Okay, last thing. Can you hear Anne Wynn singing Christmas carols on the toilet? She's just like having a poo and like singing Christmas songs with the door open. Okay, but last category is like an Anne Wynn / like mental health daily like category. First thing being, every day I'm gonna clean something in my house and then I'm just gonna rotate like every single day, move on to the next thing, so that the house is basically always clean. Like, at the minute it gets like more and more hideous after like a 2-week period, and then I clean the whole thing, and then it's clean for like 2 or 3 days, and then slowly over the course of that 2 weeks like becomes shit again, and then I clean again. And like, she's getting to an age now where she wants loads of her friends over all the time. Like, she's at school and she's like, oh, can, you know, Evie come over or whatever. And like, there's more things in place for why kids can't come over than just a clean house. Like, we live quite far outside the catchment is like one thing. We have like weird commitments like cheerleading and tennis, stuff like that is another thing. But one of the things is that our house is like sometimes like a hideous mess. And I'm like, she could come over, but our house is like at the end of its 2-week period of cleaning and it's disgusting. So for her to be able now to like live her life as like an 8-year-old grown woman and like have her mates over more, I'm just gonna like make it so that the house is always a bit clean. And the last thing is to get back into journaling. I used to do this like hugely regularly. Or like 20 years. Like, I have like 20 years-ish of like notebooks going back, and like I used to write every day, or like at latest like maybe once a week, or once like in a 2-week period or something like that, like relatively regularly for like 20 years. But in the last year, like, and a bit, I'd say, like maybe the last 2 years or so, something has happened, and I don't even know what it is, but it has become hard for me to journal and to like get into it. Like, I think, like, it's not that I don't have time, like I obviously don't have time, but I make time for things I like. Okay, I do that. It's that I haven't been able to make time because I don't want to do it. And I think it's like related to like the task of it, like a sort of writer's block for my own thoughts. Is that a thing? Like, not to do with like being an author or having a paper due or whatever, like sort of writer's block, but like writer's block just for my own life, my own thinking. And like a bit of, okay, now is time for journaling, and sit down and here's a blank piece of paper and here's a pen and here's time designated for journaling, and then being like, it's too much, it's like overwhelming. For some reason, all of a sudden, in my whole life I've never had this problem, and now I have it. So it's like I can sort of see like I'm getting bigger and our lives like moving forward and on, and there's no sort of document of it, no record of it like I had for all those other years. And I'm terrified that she's just gonna grow up and I'm gonna be like, holy crap, I blinked and she's huge and I don't have like any record of it. So I'm going to instate like every day on my phone, just anytime I have like a random thought, like on the bus, just be like, oh, this date of that guy, and then just like go into my phone notes app and just be like, oh, this date of this guy, and just like write it down, and then print it out and stick it in my notebook. Just every day I'm gonna have one entry at least, or like multiple entries or whatever, but one entry, one thought I've written down, I've printed out, I've stuck it in my notebook. And then also one photo. I'm gonna take one picture every day and like timestamp it in my phone so that each day I have something, like one photo, and then at the end I can send it off to like photo printing service or whatever, and make like one of those books of like each photo for every day of that year, like of 2023. And hopefully this will like ease my anxiety about like the lack of journaling now, and also hopefully get me back into normal journaling where I can just sit down again and like write, you know, my thoughts. Like, it's so cathartic as well. It just helps you put things in perspective. It's just an amazing thing to do, and I'm sad that it has died in my life, but I'm gonna get it back. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got to say. I'm completely tapped out creatively, but this was amazing. This was brilliant. I love Vlogmas. I loved watching everyone's Vlogmas. Everyone that's done it, where I've like watched all your shit, it was banging. Thank you so much for doing Vlogmas. Thank you for chatting with me and everything. Seriously, I love Vlogmas and I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Right, well, thanks for watching our Vlogmas. Thanks for hanging out and commenting and what have you for this whole month. It's been amazing. We hope you have a really nice Christmas, and we'll see you in January. Yeah? Good night for me.
1, 2, 3.
Good night.
Merry.
We're saying good night. Okay, wait.
1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, good night.
Good night.